What's going on? And we are live with it. We're about to break down week 16 of the whole NFL slate. So we appreciate y'all watching along. As always, go down, like, and subscribe, comment along with us. I'm Paul Pick'em Win'em, and I'm joined with.
You already know, man. It's your boy Cap, Water Voice of Boy in the flesh coming through. And don't forget, it's the Don PYE, but I'm always known as the realest on your screen.
Oh, that shit did not taste as good as I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, we're switching it up this week. Just like last week, we're gonna break down the whole slate, including Thursday night with everything else instead of separating it. So it's gonna be a little bit longer of an episode, but we got some good games, good implications. There's even the my favorite time of the year, it's the incentive watch time. So if you have players that you like to bet on for prop bets, certain players need about five more catches for an extra 200K, shit like that. So in these last next couple of weeks, it's time to hammer some overs because people are gonna get their players paid.
Oh, shit. I mean, we got, we got the Saturday games. And then, this isn't the Christmas week. Next week is Christmas week.
Yeah, next week we get the Christmas Eve, the Netflix first ever games.
Yeah, so we got games on Thursday, games on Saturday, and then a decent Sunday slate with a lot of, I guess, ugly ass games. I guess this is the part of the season where we already know who's the contenders and pretenders. So when we see folks like the Jets and the Rams, we don't really look twice at that game like we would have maybe like week 6.
Yeah, but it's also gonna be a lot of teams playing spoiler now. I mean, unless a lot of teams that might not have a lot to play for other than to spoil some shit. Because like if the Rams lose to the Jets, they really just fumble the rest of their season. Like it won't be shocking if some of these teams end up shooting it, like the Colts last week. Just end up shooting themselves in the foot.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. But there are a lot of teams I'm really high on. Like you see the Vikings over there looking real smooth at 12-2. While we're being last week, I was literally telling you about how the Lions are playing their best season ever at 12-2, and the Vikings are on a rebuilding season with Sam Darnold. So like, it's a very interesting part of the season.
Yeah,
There are a lot of things you could have never guessed.
yeah, I'm happy you found that meme because I couldn't explain it. I was just like, it's Tiger Woods and John Daly. And I was like, I don't know if you know who John Daly is, but like, he's smoking cigarettes, fat, drinking beers. Usually has two ladies with him while he's golfing. And there's Tiger Woods. And it's like Lions at 9-2, Vikings at 9-2. Like worst season, best season in history, rebuild year with Sam Darnold. And it's just like, damn. When I saw that, I was like, I can't even hate on the Vikings for real no more. Like, even if they play shitty next week, this is a rebuild year.
This nigga Sam Darnold just threw four touchdowns again.
Yeah, looking red hot. But let's jump into the slate. The first game Thursday night, probably one of the bigger implication games. We got two playoff teams, both in the wild card right now. Denver Broncos going to LA, where the Chargers are 3-point favorite at home. This is this might be the deciding factor of who's making the wild card and who's not, because teams like the Colts, teams like the Dolphins, the teams that are right now 7-7 and 6-8, they need the Chargers to start losing some games because they're the last team in the playoff picture. They're 8-6. If they start taking some L's, they lost last week, but they need to keep it winning to keep the playoff spot secured. Bo Nix and them boys, they just keep finding ways to win. How do you feel about this one?
I mean, like I said, this is a lot of these games when it comes to me picking right now. I'm kind of like locked in and solidified on who these people are. The Chargers are a team that we started off not understanding who they were. There's even a point in time where I say I'm not picking against the Chargers until further notice. And once I started picking against the Chargers, they went on a 3-game losing streak. So I'm very aware. I feel like I understand this Chargers team now. And this team just got their ass beat 40-17. And the last one they had before that was against the Falcons when Kirk Cousins throws 4 interceptions. And you guys won 13-17. And Kirk Cousins throws a pick six for you to score that 17%. So you didn't do anything in the second half. Versus the Broncos, which was so funny. I was watching the Turning Point on the NFL Turning Points on Hulu, and they were showing the Broncos versus the Colts, and they said the turning point was when they got that interception and took it to the house. And Bro said when he was reading the coverage, he was literally in because they sent Pat Surtain on the corner blitz, and then bro, I forget his name. He was rushing, and then he looked at the receiver and said he doesn't usually catch screens. I watch film, and then he's looking at Aaron at What's the quarterback?
Anthony
Anthony
Richardson.
Richardson. Anthony Richardson, he's laying back. Oh, this is gonna be a pass back. Let me go ahead and go and try to jump it. Jumped it perfectly and go. And that's the defense I trust. A defense that can read, a defense that's gonna hold it down, and a defense that's gonna be able to make plays even when the plays can get blown up. You feel me? Like in very interesting moments. So I'm taking this Broncos team. This team played smart. And fun fact, their one goal last week was to win the turnover battle. They threw 3 interceptions, but they forced 5 turnovers. So
Yeah.
like, hey, they won. They did what they were supposed to do. You feel me?
Yeah, Bo Nix did not look good, but that's how this Broncos team like because they were winning games when he wasn't looking good early in the season, and then we kind of got adjusted to like, oh, Bo Nix is slowly looking better and better. So then this last week was kind of a reminder of like, oh yeah, he can play shitty, and this Denver Broncos team can still find ways to win. I'm personally just shocked that they're a 3-point dog. I do know the Chargers are at home, but everyone knows that the Chargers' home isn't really a real home. So if you're telling me this is a neutral field or even a Broncos home game type of atmosphere, because Denver's right around the corner from LA, and you're telling me they're a 3-point dog potentially at a home game, even if it's not a home game for the Broncos, if they don't, if they split the fan base 50-50 and it's a neutral site type of atmosphere, you're telling me the Chargers are a 3-point better team on paper. I don't think so. I'm surprised this isn't closer. I'm hammering the Broncos +3. I'm hammering, and I like them to win straight up here too. And this is a perfect teaser, but like you can get that all the way up to like 10 points.
Yeah, Chargers -3 is crazy work.
Both on the Broncos, both on the dog for Thursday. Then we got a pair of Saturday games, which is kind of fun. We got no UFC this week, and boxing is going to be popping off in the middle of the day in Saudi Arabia. So it will be kind of nice to have something to go in towards the later afternoon. We got the Chiefs hosting the Texans. Patrick Mahomes game time decision with that ankle sprain might play. If he doesn't play, we know Carson Wentz is taking the helm. They're a 3-point favorite as of right now. Texans 3-point dog. Haven't been playing their best ball, but they're coming off a win against the Miami Dolphins. How do you feel about this one, Kev?
Oh man, I mean, this game is supposed to be a game.
It was on paper, like when they made it.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I think like a lot of these teams' shortcomings are going to match each other. So this is still going to be a close game. But we don't know if Pat Mahomes is playing or not. If Pat Mahomes is playing, I think even though I don't think they're the greatest team and they're gonna win by a lot, but they're gonna figure out a way to win with Pat Mahomes playing. But no Pat Mahomes, I don't know. They're saying he's kind of game time decision. Texans, they just came off with 2 interceptions. They look pretty decent against Tua. So if Carson Wentz plays, I'm taking the Texans. But if Pat Mahomes and this offense comes in and they're trying to reel it, even if Pat Mahomes is coming in on like 60%, 50%, anything above 45%, I'm taking Pat. I'm taking the Chiefs.
It was Texans were the favorite by a point, and I think that was if like they thought Wentz is going to play. But the line has drastically moved to Kansas City being favored by 3, and I think it's because of the news of game time decision. He'll see how he feels with the ankle, and then Andy Reid saying that he feels confident that he might be able to play. But then he also said if he doesn't play, I'm confident in Carson Wentz's ability to play.
Andy said it's not broke; it's just sore.
Yeah, so and that right there, those comments is what moved this line. I'm kind of expecting him to play, but even if he plays, I know the Texans defense hasn't been all that, but their edge rushers have been eating pretty good. Danielle Hunter, the free agent that they picked up, is Will Anderson, the second year right now. People, I think, are looking more at the quarterback battles and this and that, but I kind of like the Texans to. It's gonna be tough, but I kind of like them here. Even if Mahomes plays, I like them to win just because Mahomes on one leg, having not being able to move as much as is used to, I think will hinder them more than what people expect.
I respect it. It's Saturday. We're gonna see what happens.
Oh, and it's short week on top of it too, on top of all that. Then we got the next game on the slate Saturday. Well, I guess Saturday afternoon. Ravens 6.5-point favorites at home, taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. We get this matchup twice a year. Lamar is 1-4 against the Steelers straight up. He lost their earlier meeting in what was a crazy ass game. A lot of a lot of defense from the Pittsburgh Steelers. How do you feel, bro? Do you think Lamar gets over the hump here?
But I think you kind of bless him. I think he's actually 1-7 against the Steelers.
Oh, it might be 1-7.
Yeah, I think so. I could be wrong.
But he statistically also always has his worst games against the Steelers. Like it isn't like he balls out those for like 500 yards and shit. And it'd be a lot of 100 and something yards, low 200s, not as much rushing, a few fumbles tagged in there, a couple interceptions.
Okay. He's 2-5. He's 2-5 as in his record against them boys, but I think he's only started
6 of them.
yeah, 6 of them, so he's 1-5 against them boys. So yeah, I will say this. I think the Steelers are a good team. They know how to play Lamar and they don't fuck off really against that boy. But I'm taking the Ravens to come through and look way better than they did the last game. Don't forget last time. Well, we didn't know at that point in time it was the Steelers' best game because Russell Wilson played his best. Like he didn't do too much. But it was a close game. It was only a 2-point game, and Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals. So I think with a healthier Ravens team that wants that bye, especially with the number one in the division on the line, even though they might not get the home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs, they want to win that division, get that first home game, make people come to Baltimore. I'm expecting the Ravens to play their ass off. Like last week, all the receivers showed their ass against the Giants' is crumbling, diminishing thing that they call defense. So I'm expecting the Ravens to come in the ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double up. I had to double check. I thought about it, and then I was like, "Let me double check." So I was talking. I peeped it. That was Derrick Henry fumbled on like the very second play of the game, and Derrick Henry didn't fumble for like 2 years prior to that, and that was like the big hit. There was a lot of fun, not a lot of fumbles. There was a lot of things I think that broke towards the Steelers' way. They also didn't play the best. Pickens maybe won't play this game. He also could play on those game time decisions. We'll see how that goes. I'm rocking with the Ravens, but I would just add him to my parlay as a money line. 6.5 is kind of a lot whenever y'all rarely even beat Mike Tomlin. Now that's a 7 points right there.
And for my folks that didn't pick the Chiefs, what's it called? They're 2-2 without Patrick Mahomes. That was back when they had Matt Moore.
Matt Moore came in.
Chad Henne and Blaine Gabbert.
I remember Chad, but I don't know all of them.
They
but
got fucked up with Chad Henne.
Yeah, I remember one that was when was against the Jaguars, and it was a fucking lifer. It was a crazy game. That might have been the Gabbert game, but I just remember it was like holy shit. And then they also made a few good plays. I'm not knocking Carson Wentz. I also know what he can do when he's trying to do a little too much.
Oh no, 1,000%.
Then we're going on into the 1 o'clocks on Sunday, and Kev, we're starting here. We got the Michael Penix's first start of his NFL career. Kirk Cousins is hitting the bench as of now, and I mean, not a bad start to your career. You get to take on the New York Giants in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games where the defense has to kind of lock in. And as long as we're able to run all over the ball and we don't put the trust 1,000%, not trust, but 1,000% of the weight on Big Dog's shoulders and Michael Penix Jr. But I'm not even going to talk about the Kirk Cousins benching because that's expensive. So we going to see how it goes.
And people are bringing up he does have a no trade clause similar to Derek Carr's situation where depending on how it goes, he might not even want to get traded because people are showing that if he gets traded, something about the money gets paid differently, so it might turn into like I'm not being traded. You got to cut me and pull Russell Wilson. Like you're gonna cut me and I get paid all my money and then I go sign somewhere else like he did with the Steelers. But that's also we'll see how Penix does because that's all gonna be determined. They are 8.5-point favorites, which is I don't think I've ever seen that big of a line for a rookie debut.
So that's crazy work.
Yeah, like I also don't. The Giants are playing pitiful. Like Drew Lock is starting again. Last week it was Tommy DeVito. They've been doing the flip flop back and forth. Whoever they're going with, I'm going with the Falcons here. They should win this. They should be able to win this, even if Michael Penix throws like 12 passes total this game.
Hey, and I'm okay with that.
Then we got the Jets, 3-point dogs at home with the Rams coming in town right now. There is some rumors going around that Garrett Wilson might not be around come next year, might be requesting trades in the offseason. And Aaron Rodgers also saying that he might come back, he might not. You'll see how he feels in the offseason. You know, the Packers fans said it best. They're like, welcome to being a Packers fan for the last 5 years, New York. Have fun dealing with that every offseason. Because you know that, and like thinking is like that is kind of hard to like the draft's coming up. Is like, are we gonna spend time looking at QBs?
Yeah.
Are we not gonna spend time looking at QBs? Are we gonna like what are we doing? Like what are I don't know. I feel like that does hinder a lot of the process. Like free agency, are you gonna start talking around the board, like the league? Like
Yeah, I can see how that just probably would just annoy the fuck out of a lot of motherfuckers. And that's what happened to the Packers. They're just lucky that they already drafted a quarterback.
yeah, they said we're not doing this shit no more. But the game itself, Jets 3-point dogs at home with the Los Angeles Rams coming into town. One team playing for a lot, one team leading the division as of right now in the Rams. One team potentially could play spoiler here with the Jets.
I mean, the Rams are playing their best ball right now. I've been screaming this. I've been waiting for it. I've been all season. I've been saying, "Yo,
even off that Thursday night game where Cooper Kupp gave me 0 goddamn points in my
But all I care is that they beat the fucking Bills. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, this is the Rams team that I thought was gonna pull up on the Eagles. You feel me? I just be too early with a lot of my shits with a lot of these teams. But I'm picking the Rams to come through, hold it down. They understand what's on the line. They want to go to the playoffs. They can't get it in through the wild card. So they gotta win this game because they gotta control their own destiny and continue winning out.
I really want to go with the Jets here. Not even because they won their last game. I mean, but their defense has been so bad. Like Mac Jones looked like a competent quarterback again last week. Brian Thomas Jr. had them boys looking silly. I do think Puka, it's clear cut. Puka's number 1 over there right now. Cooper Kupp has taken the number 2 spot. But I just think both those two wide receivers are just going to go crazy.
See, I wouldn't say that Puka is the number 1 and Cooper Kupp is taking the number 2 spot. I think the defense that you have to play to guard Cooper Kupp opens up Puka Nacua. And Puka Nacua is just a baller. Because even a lot of the plays that he makes, they are some tough ass plays.
Yeah, but I just feel like they're scheming up more for Puka because the screen passes are now going to Puka. I don't see the Cooper because like I was waiting all game for like, at least one little screen pass, and every time they call a little wide receiver screen or the little end arounds, like those little plays that always went to Cooper Kupp that those years, seem to be going to Puka now.
I think it just opened up the offense more because you got to remember, like at least when they won the Super Bowl and all that, the other receiver was Van Jefferson. Like they picked up Odell in the middle of the season. Like Cooper Kupp has been a crazy workhorse, and I just think it comes down to the way the defense are playing. Why would we give it to this guy to force this motherfucker, and we're trying to keep him healthy, and versus like we got this young guy that can fucking cut up too, and the defenses aren't going to key in on him like they have to key in on Cooper Kupp. So I don't know. I think it's a bad half and half. Maybe we'll know by the end of the season or playoff time. But like I still think Cooper Kupp's the number 1. But I like this Rams offense, and I also would like a fucking shake back from that defense. I mean, last week they kept it like really close and they were on them boys' ass, but the 49ers offense isn't nothing amazing. So I'm expecting another great showing from the defense to show that they're ready for the playoffs.
Oof. Let me see. My gut's telling me maybe go with the Jets, but I'm gonna go with the Rams just because that defense. I just don't think it's gonna be able to. I think there's gonna be a lot of points here, and I just think the Rams like 2 offensive weapons and Kyron Williams as well. I haven't spoken on him. It's just a little bit more than what the Jets got to offer. Then we got the Eagles, 3.5-point favorites on the road going into Washington. The second time they're lining up against Jane Daniels, Jalen Hurts matchup. Commies coming off a win, even though they're not playing their best ball. They squeaked by Saints. And the Eagles coming off their win against Philly, showing that they possibly are the best team on offense and defense collectively on both sides of the ball. Looking to make it, I don't know, was it like 8 in a row, 9 in a row right here with this win? But
man, it's 10.
10, yeah, 10-game win streak.
And right now they're going for 11.
Commies, I'll go first. I just think 3.5 points is a little disrespectful to the Eagles. I know that they're the road team here. So you got to respect the atmosphere and everything, but the Commies have not been playing the best football recently. And pair that with the Eagles are playing their best football on both sides of the ball. Jalen Hurts finally quieted down some people. The drama rumors kind of quieted down a little bit more after that last week. I think this is a prime lineup for like Eagles come in, clear cut, clinch division. I don't know if they have clinched the division yet, but if they haven't, this will definitely clinch it right here. And I think they go in and they prove that they're probably one of, if not the best team, a top three team in the NFL.
I mean, these teams already played, and the Eagles beat them 26-18. And I think the entire I just think that Jaden Daniels and that offense is got the Clips Kings right cursive. Yeah, we can get hot fast. But once defenses start keying on you, scheming differently and understanding like, yo, this dude is a problem, similar to Kyler Murray when he was with Cliff Kingsbury. A lot of production slows down. I think they did have that 40-point game not too long ago
Against the Titans.
so it's not like the boys' offense is diminished and is nowhere near around. I just think when you're playing against great teams, you're gonna get exposed a little bit. And this is a really good team. And I understand this is a divisional game, so I like it to be close. But I'm gonna pick the Eagles to get on their 11-game win streak.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they've only beaten the Giants in divisional games. I know they lost to the Cowboys and they lost to the Eagles. So I'm pretty sure they've only beaten the Giants when it comes to divisional games.
Losing to the Cowboys is crazy work. They'll gotta do better.
Yeah, so we're both going with the Eagles. They're on the road. I also like that spread a lot. Next game, Panthers 5-point dogs at home coming off the loss to the Cowboys. They got the Cardinals here. The Cardinals coming off a big win against the Patriots. They're 7-7. They're a game behind first place right now. They don't count them out yet. They could still, with the NFC West, every week has been, I feel like, a different leader in the pack.
Facts.
So I wouldn't be shocked if a team gets jumped in these next couple of weeks. That's also part of the take on my Jets Rams. I'm like, I know the Rams are a better team, but like that division has this. Every time I feel like a team has jumped to the front of the pack, they do some stupid shit and fumble it and end up second and third in the pack about a week later.
Yeah, that's facts. Seahawks, Cardinals.
Every week, the 49ers were in the front for a while.
Nah, I don't think so.
You might be right. But they were at least in the hunt. They were like that number 2 team. We were waiting to jump to the front. But like it's just every week some bullshit with these teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like less than 4 weeks ago, the Rams were last. We're dead last. Less than 4 weeks ago.
And the Cardinals were number 1, and then they lose to the Seahawks, and then the Seahawks are number 1, and they lose to like the Rams. It's been all over the place. With all that being said, they can control their destiny. Just keep winning. They got Bryce Young. They're in Carolina this week. Carolina can't do shit other than play spoiler. Continue to make Bryce look a little bit better. Continue these stepping stones as people think that they're making these last few weeks. How are you feeling here? Because we've heard some analysts earlier today really hyping up this Panthers unit.
I mean, they have nothing else better to do. The season's almost over, so like you gotta make some type of shape in order to get people going. I think that's their business. I think the Panthers are not a good team. I think they played good games this season, but like we say, we don't award people for almost winning. So I just need the Seahawks to come in and play phenomenal defense, kind of lower their confidence. So when we play them next week, they still feel like some bitches. So like that's how I'm looking at this game. I'm thinking this is a game to set up the next game. Like the Seahawks, you need to come in and win because you don't control your own destiny. You need to win out and and that includes beating the Rams in the final game. And the Rams need to win out. So like you say, this division is all over the place, wishy-washy. But I gotta give it to my Seahawks to come in.
The Cards.
Wait, we're not talking Seahawks.
No, Cardinals, Panthers.
Oh, Cardinals, Panthers. Oh, I take that back. I like this game to be a lot closer. And then I thought we were talking Seahawks, Panthers.
Oh no, we got the Cards. They're 7-7. But that's why they're saying Kyler versus Bryce could be. So I literally right in front of my eyes a little bit ago. They said I think Panthers come in, win this game, and Bryce Young outduels Kyler Murray.
I mean, I would if they had played a close game against the Patriots last week, but they beat the shut up Patriots. They better beat the shut up Panthers too.
See, the Panthers are just similar to the Panthers. I don't like picking the Cardinals with at the all-time high. 5-point favorites on the road in Carolina. Yeah, Carolina just lost to the Cowboys. Pretty bad. Bryce throws a few interceptions. I think it was like 4 or 5 turnovers as a unit altogether, 2 interceptions and a few fumbles. I'm gonna go with my gut here. I like the Panthers here. I just think they met like J.C. Horn and Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison's kind of been a no-show kind of throughout this year, just kind of been disappeared a lot. Kyler Murray's had to disappear and act a couple games as well. Cardinals defense could have let Bryce look a little cute. I'm gonna go with the. I'm gonna go. I wish Marcus was here. Ice Bryce. I'm going with that boy. Panthers get the dub.
I'm pretty sure every time you pick the Panthers this year, you were on that because I know you're like 2-0 right now, and they only have 3 wins. I know you picked 2 of their 3 wins.
Yeah, so we'll make it 3 or 4, hopefully. Then we got the Bengals, 7.5-point favorites at home with the Browns coming to town. No Jameis Winston, but he'll still have a speech for them boys, I'm pretty sure. We're going to have DTR coming in to play for the Browns. Would Winston playing even change your pick?
Who are they playing?
The Bengals. Bengals 7.5-point favorites here.
I mean, yeah, because Winston has played pretty good. Pretty good. Besides for the Steelers, he played pretty good in these divisional games. He beat the Ravens, and I don't know. And there's only been 2. So I want to say that I just like stand on the fact that the Bengals can't fucking guard a can of paint because like they not stopping nothing. They couldn't even stop. They can't stop shit. Like there's nothing going for that.
The Titans put up 27 against them. So like, yeah, they lost by 10, but you know that Titans offense, they should not be putting up 27.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna pick the Bengals, but like I just think the Browns just are the worst team. I don't think it's just because I think the Bengals are a better team. I think when it comes down to put up all these points, they put up 20, but as long as Joe Burrow and company holds down what they need to do, they'll be fine.
Yeah, and then Trey Henderson has got quietly, I think, either 13.5. I know 12.5 for sure. I don't know if he got another one last game, but he's double-digit sack. He's up there in the sack leader conversation. He single-handedly is sometimes can like the Bengals defense as a whole sucks, okay? But there'll be a second down or third down where he does get to the quarterback and makes a little bit of difference, which I also think what's led to some of the interceptions last week was him getting to the quarterback, rushing the throws. And with DTR back there, he's inexperienced. He will use his legs a little bit, but he's also going to force some throws. This is another game where the Bengals their defense might look decent. They still might let up a whole bunch of yards, but they're going to probably get a couple turnovers, maybe a couple sacks here. I like the Bengals here. There's another team that I really like them on the teaser because if I can tease them down to a pick 'em, just a straight up money line, I'm adding that because I like the Bengals here. And they still have shit to play for. They're in the Dolphins boat. They're in the Colts boat. Just win out. You can finish 9-8, which is still a decent season. And you just got to hope the Chargers lose the game, the Broncos lose the game, and you're in there. You're in the combo.
Now, y'all got to win this game because y'all play the Broncos next week. And Chad Ochocinco told Shannon Sharp that I don't want to hear you say foot or ball after that game. So, hey, man, I'm expecting them boys to lock in and get it done.
Fact. Then we got the Colts, 3.5-point favorites at home with the Titans rolling into town. Divisional matchup, Colts, just like the Bengals, they just need to win out, potentially get their name in that playoff spot, but it doesn't look good, especially after last week. They had the chance to win in front of them, and they not fumbled, but they throw that little toss play bullshit. Defense fumbles up the second half of the game. They let Bo Nix look a little bit better to get a couple touchdowns. The Titans, on the other hand, I don't know who the fuck is starting. I honestly, right-handed on Bible, I don't know if it's Will Levis or Mason Rudolph right now. I think it will be Rudolph because they benched Will Levis last game, and I don't think they go back to him.
I mean, regardless, it's not the best pick in the world. I wouldn't want either one, but if I had to take one, I would take Mason Rudolph because at least he comes in and produces. Versus Will Levis, he kind of just thinks it up.
They have played earlier in the season. It was week 5 or week 6, and the Colts won 20-17. But this is what Joe Flacco. This is Joe Flacco Colts.
I mean, I like the Colts to come in and bust their ass. They're a bad team, but they're not that bad. It's a divisional matchup, so anything can happen. But the Colts understand that it's late in the season. They kind of fucked up their chances of making the playoffs, but there's still a chance. So the Colts got to come in and ball.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor fumbling on the goal line also didn't help them last week. He got off over 100 rushing yards. He was he was eating up until that fumble that really shot them in the foot on top of the other turnovers they had. As long as you don't do that this game, even to settle for the 3, I think I'll beat the Titans. So especially they're at home here, they have a little bit more left to play for than the Titans.
I mean, and the Titans defense gave up 100 rushing yards to the Bengals last week, so I'm not mad. I couldn't sit here and tell you with a straight face. I got the Titans to stop Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson on the ground. And the Colts their defense has allowed 24 plus points in the last 5 straight games. We'll see how this goes. It's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be close too.
Then we got our last 1:00 game with the Chicago Bears at home, 6.5-point dog, taking on the Detroit Lions, who are just limping into this game at this point.
And don't forget how close this game was last time.
It was close, but this
is the game that they had the bad play calling and stuff like that.
Yes,
on Thanksgiving.
Trying to pull that up from my phone real quick.
Yeah, this was the game on Thanksgiving where like the Bears could have won this game, but they just played.
Oh, and then they fucking had the time on the clock, and Caleb Williams takes 15. They had 2 timeouts, 30 seconds left. Caleb Williams takes like 15 seconds to get the ball snapped or some shit. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, this was a game. The defense came in good. I'm looking at it now. A whole first half, it was 16-0. Detroit was whooping their ass, but it was all field goals damn near. So the defense kind of stopped them from scoring. And then all of a sudden, the second half, Caleb Williams comes down. They start scoring some points, and Lions squeak out the victory.
Yeah, I would say this. The Lions just played a fucking brilliant game on offense, even though they lost. No David Montgomery, so that's gonna be bad. And then they did get four more defensive injuries last game, but they're limping their way into this. But I do see this offensive line still holding it down. You still have Jahmyr Gibbs, you still have Amon-Ra St. Brown, you still have Jared Goff throwing his ass off. So as long as this Lions team can come in and continue to be the offensive juggernaut that they are, I think anything lacking in defense will be fine, just off the fact that the Bears haven't scored over 21 points in the last 3 games.
Yeah, they're saying Caleb Williams might be broken, and they're not even meaning it in a disrespectful way, like he sucks. It's more of he's taking a lot of sacks, so he's starting to move around the pocket, which creates more sacks sometimes. Because like when you got a clean pocket, you got to stay in it. But when you're so used to getting hit and shit like that, you start moving out of a clean pocket, which allows people to get towards you and stuff. They're saying that he was literally jumping over defenders that weren't there, just all that like habit. Then he's not throwing the ball to open receivers, which also comes back to a confidence thing. Like, or is he seeing the progression? Does he see it? But he's just so gun shy now that he doesn't want to like throw that bitch.
Once they start making excuses for you, that's when it's like, all right, there's something wrong.
So, and then the whole body language on the sideline last game where he's sitting on the bench laying there like this, like he just looked a little wild. I don't know. It's not a good look for your future franchise QB. Even with the injuries, I think the Lions get the win. But the Lions I think can easily beat these piss poor teams. It's just the playoffs that I'm gonna be worried about them with all these injuries.
Yeah, the Lions. Yeah, we gonna see. They're figuring it out. Nobody told Dan Campbell to brush his teeth last week, so that's a good thing.
I want some of them Twitter users to be the one to walk up on Dan Campbell and tell him that. People be forgetting how big so like John, like we were talking about John Lynch, like Dan Campbell, even Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk, like that's a big son of a bitch right there.
Like, come on, there's some big motherfuckers that coach. Jared Mayo, that's a big.
Yeah, don't let the camera fool you. This motherfuckers is big. Then we had first 4:00 game, Seahawks, 3-point dogs at home, 8-6. They kind of doesn't our team just keep winning. Don't leave the destiny in any other team's hands. They got the Vikings coming into town. Vikings 12-2. They're gonna be watching that 1:00 game with the Lions and the Eagles, and they definitely gonna be locked in for this Seahawks game in Seattle. How do you feel about this? With Geno Smith is expected to play.
What, they're a home dog?
Yeah, Geno and them boys home dogs here.
I mean, I respect it just off the fact that you're playing against another team that's looking very good and wants to win out because they control their own destiny. They can control some shit in their division too. I think the Vikings are gonna come in ball. I mean, the Seahawks let Jordan Love and them boys kind of throw all over them. I don't think that's the energy that they're gonna come in here with Sam Darnold. But this is every game. Every game's been the same thing. Every Vikings game that I've seen, it's been offensive coordinator saying, "Hey, you're gonna beat me with Sam Darnold, then do it." And they're on a 7 game win streak, so a lot of motherfuckers they've been doing it.
30 plus points in 3 of the last 4 games. So they've been heating up.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really want to.
The scary thing is I think they lost another offensive lineman though last game
That's not good
against the Bears, which doesn't help because they already lost their left tackle for the year earlier in the season.
They just adjusted to that.
Yeah, they did. Like that was some of the little issues in the middle of the season. Was like, yo, y'all just lost y'all star left tackle who's been killing people. Seahawks. Normally I would be like Seahawks home dog. Geno's gonna shoot it out with them boys, but I just get the feeling that like, not that I get the feeling, but like my whole thing with Seahawks is if you can't create a pass rush, Seahawks, Geno's gonna ball. But if you can create a pass rush, Geno's gonna play kind of mid. And the Vikings are a team that can definitely create pass rush, whether it's coming from the corner blitz, whether it's coming from a straight 4-man rush, whether those 2 defensive ends have been killing motherfuckers this year. I really think the Vikings defense is going to win this game. I don't need the offense to do anything too crazy, but I don't need a 30-point performance. But when we see Geno throw an interception or 2 because of the pass rush getting to him, that's why I picked the Vikings.
Yeah, I agree. I think this pass rush is going to do its thing. I just don't know what level Sam Darnold's going to be at because it's interesting because he does make these plays to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, but he'll have 7 receptions but 13 targets, and one of them will be a drop that could have been a touchdown. But when you're forcing these passes and like you're really letting Sam Darnold have to get vertical, I don't know. I just don't think that they can stop this rush after what Josh Jacobs did to them boys last week. I think Aaron Jones can come in and be a factor. He's had 70+ yards in 3 of his last 4 games. So if Aaron Jones can be the deciding factor and keep the Seahawks defense honest, that's when Sam Darnold can expose these corners, and that's why I'm taking the Vikings.
So Geno Smith is 3rd in the NFL with yards. I guess we both made our pick, but I just want to throw this stat real quick. I'm literally just looking at the stats real quick. Geno Smith's 3rd in the NFL with yards, 3,600, right? But he only has 14 fucking touchdowns to 13 interceptions. And if you look at anyone else that's in the top 5 with him, all 30+ touchdowns. We saw it last week, the red zone interception. Like they get there and then they kind of fuck up. But yeah, going with the Lions, not Lions, but going with the Vikings here to get that dub. Then we got the 425 games going with the Dolphins at home, where they're a favorite, with the 49ers coming into town. Both teams 6-8. Both teams out of the playoff picture right now. Both teams could potentially end the season 9-8 if they win out. Mike McDaniel taking on former team. We saw this matchup, I think, last year as well. Shanahan played. We played Shanahan last year, I think, as well. Shanahan, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure has a pretty good record against his previous assistant coaches. How are we feeling about this one, Kev? I'm not even going to try to sway you nowhere.
Now, this is probably the hardest game to pick because the 49ers have been playing rough these last few games, but they're not a terrible team. But the Dolphins have lost the last few games, but
49ers aren't above 500 team.
Yeah, like you feel me? It's not against like a great team. Like I don't think they excel in stopping the Dolphins' weaknesses right now. I think maybe last year when y'all beat them, when y'all lost them last year, like for sure. But they don't have Christian McCaffrey doing what he did last year. They don't have Debo running all over.
Trent Williams is still hurt.
They don't have Brandon Ayuk. Like there's just so many differences, and I think this is a Dolphins team that just wants to find an identity and just get some type of wins because this is an expensive ass team. So I'm taking the Dolphins low key.
We got rid of Odell. We not only did we not cut him, but we just got released him because I'm pretty sure it was him wanting to be released. And the only reason I know why it was him wanting to be released was he waived his money. He was like, I don't even want the money. Just get me off the team. I'm gonna go play somewhere else, which is crazy.
Yeah, because who's picking him up?
I don't know, but whenever he said that he was willing to waive the money just to get off, I was like, oh fuck it, he really just wanted to get out of there.
That's because Bitcoin went up. That's because Bitcoin is balling right now. with that one thing, that one with the Rams
Oh
when he
yeah,
got the contract to go
yeah.
all in Bitcoin. Yeah, he's making his dividends back right now. So he's like, I don't need your bread.
I want. I gotta pick the Dolphins, but for anyone out there, our offensive line is fucking abysmal right now. We put a guard that wasn't good at a guard position at right tackle. I saw one of the like I watched how he got spun past by one of the. It was just a nasty. It wasn't even a nasty move, but he got done so bad that was like God damn, that was nasty. Um, our defense has been playing good. I feel like this is gonna be a super low scoring game. That's how I think we win this game. But I would not be surprised if Nick Bosa and that D line for the 49ers goes off.
I mean, yeah, I'm hoping that his defense doesn't
And
lock in.
especially if they're watching the screen.
Yeah, I'm hoping that his defense doesn't lock in. But if they do lock in, boy, y'all gonna be y'all gonna be in some trouble. But I still got the Dolphins to win this game in a tight one.
I wish I didn't have to, but I'm picking the
I
Dolphins.
chose to. I wanted to. I do it again. Watch me do it again.
Then we got the Bills 14-point favorite here
Sheesh.
against divisional game with the Patriots coming into town. 14 points is a lot, but we Bills have been a fucking wagon, so I think it's rightful.
So you might be a little late, but trying to scoot over.
Oh, actually, but yeah, no. But how do you feel about this? Did Drake May and them make it a shootout, or the Bills just come in? We getting close to playoff time. Just keep it pushing. Number one seed in your in grasp.
But did you see what the Cardinals just did to them?
That's true. It was semi close until the second touchdown in the fourth quarter. Then it was a 14-point game.
Cardinals beat their ass. That shit. I was looking at the highlights in that game, and I was like, yeah, this was a closer game than it should have been. The Cardinals fucked them up. I got the Bills doing what they need to do. I don't know if they cover 14 points is a lot of points. It's National Football League, but I got the Bills fucking them up.
Yeah, I'm not getting no spidey senses for me coming with some crazy dog pick here. This is gonna be a wagon, especially I feel like the way the offense has been looking these past couple of weeks. It's one of those things like you can't like a boulder coming down the hill. Like once it starts rolling, you can't stop it. So like with them, it's just like they can't turn off the 40-point games anymore. Like the offense is just clicking.
You just got to kind of move everybody out the way.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we just accidentally got another 40. Oh, y'all only scored 10. We weren't paying attention to y'all score. We just kept clicking on offense.
No, I did not know that the defense locked in on Matthew Stafford like that last week.
Oh, that's when you said they're playing their best ball. I was like, I don't know about last week. Yeah, Jonas Smith continues to eat. But then we got a game that no one wants to pick. The Raiders are 1-point favorite at home.
Yuck, against who?
The Jaguars coming into town. Mac Jones. I'm taking the Jags straight up here.
I got the Jags.
We're battle of the dirt, and the Jags got Mac Jones looked good last week. Brian Thomas quietly having the best rookie wide receiver season out of everybody, and on a piss poor Jaguars team right now.
Bro, I might change my pick back to the 49ers.
Yeah, as I'm saying, that defense versus our offensive line. That's why I was like, I don't want to be picking my team, but I got to.
Yeah, I had the Dolphins too. Oh look, the rush defense they gave up 142 Dolphins for running
on 38 attempts though.
Fuck. We don't keep it.
We keep it pushing. But Raiders, Jags, I got Mac Jones and them boys. And I think Raiders will secretly want that first overall pick.
Yeah, I got Mac Jones in them for sure. What? This team has played like what 3 close games recently? Like, no way.
Jets in overtime. No, not overtime. But almost went overtime. It felt like it should have went to overtime.
I'm taking the fucking Jags. What?
Then we got the Sunday night game here. Cowboys 4-point dogs at home with the Buccaneers coming in.
Why are the Cowboys in so many primetime games? This shit is crazy.
They make so much money, bro. It's the bread.
But yeah, man, fuck the Bucks. And like, I don't think the Cowboys are busting their ass, but that's the dude, A, right? The nigga 24-20 Dolphins. That's the nigga that picked niggas last
That should tell you something.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on it. But I got
Cowboys coming off the win against the Panthers, where offense looked really good against that team. I mean, both sides of the ball looked really good. Cooper Rush threw career high touchdowns. I think they forced 4 turnovers. Bucks dropped 40 on the Chargers' head. 4-game win streak for the Bucks right now. Low key, the Cowboys are 3-1 in their last 4.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they weren't favorites in none of those.
And the one loss is the Bengals where they blocked that punt. And then so like they play pretty decent ball right now. I can't even hate.
Yeah, I can't chew them too bad, but I don't know if this is the team. But the Bucks have been playing their best ball. They're finally fully healthy. Their fans are acting the fuck up. I don't know if I'm picking the fucking Cowboys to come in here and to put do anything against the Bucks. I'm not saying they can't like score, but like that defense hasn't been able to stop the run. The Bucks have been able to keep teams playing balance, and Baker's been in his fucking bag when it comes to just using that high powered offense to its fullest, even though there are still injuries on that team. So if you can take the Cowboys with a straight face, I respect you, kid. But I got the Bucks busting their ass, and I don't want to because I'm trying to get that number 1 seed back. But these are not the teams that's gonna beat them.
I got a prop bet for everybody, bro. And it's an easy prop bet. Mike Evans needs 250 yards to go for 1,000, and he's got Tavon Diggs guarding him this game. I don't think he's going for 250, but whatever his over is set after this game, I'm taking it. I think it's probably gonna be set around 70. So yeah, I'm taking him all up to like 120. Because Tavon Diggs is known to let up the big plays, and then cuss out the reporters because it's his fault.
And still win defensive player of the year a couple years ago.
So crazy. The Bucks are balling, offense is balling, Cowboys playing decent. But I do think the Bucks can stop the run, and the Bucks can stop the run. Rico Dowdle probably doesn't go for the hunt. They're winning games because Rico Dowdle, they're able to move the ball. Rico Dowdle, which takes the pressure off of Cooper Rush, and then Cooper Rush, I think, will look good in this game because the Bucks' pass defense is pretty shitty. But then I think they'll come to a point where they just can't run the ball at all, and then they have to rely on Cooper Rush. And then at that point, he might make an interception or just take a faulty sack here or there. So yeah, give me the Bucks here on the road.
I'm expecting the Bucks to fucking up. They want that number 1 seed too.
Low key, yeah. Especially because if I went, I already have another dogs.
Yeah. If they lose this game, then we back up.
And then for our Monday night game, Kev, another big spread. Packers 14.5-point favorites taking on the Saints. Saints almost beat the Commanders. I mean, if they get the 2-point conversion, they win that game. They probably don't even get that play in reality, but
we're talking about the Packers that didn't have to almost win against them. Who was it, the Bears last week? Beat the shit out of the Bears.
Wait, what's it, the Bears?
Ran all over them boys.
No, it was Seattle.
Seattle beat the shit out of Seattle. Potential playoff team. Ran all over them boys. Threw all over them boys. Yeah, I'm taking the Packers. They're balling right now. Matt LaFleur is nobody's brought up his record in December in a minute, but it's still probably good as fuck. So
probably remember December is when Jordan Love made his name for himself last year.
It's still probably good as fuck. So like there was at one point he was like only had 1 loss and was undefeated. So I'm taking Matt LaFleur and the Packers to continue what they need to do. They're playing their best ball and they're coming into the playoffs ready to go. And they're a wild card. They can't give up any games because of how good their division is.
Probably the toughest wild card team in the playoffs. Ravens are going to be the AFC kind of only one that you can kind of argue. But like Packers' only losses are to the Eagles, Vikings, and Lions. Double-digit wins across the board.
So that's right.
And the Packers are double-digit wins on top of that. So it's just like, they're part of the upper echelon. And the Saints, I think, gave it all they got last week with their backups. They brought out both Hainer and Rattler. It wasn't enough. The Packers defense is going to be able to stop Kamara. And once you stop Kamara, I think everything fumbles after that. So give me, the Packers at home on top of all that. Give me them.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, Kev. Before we get the fuck up out of here, we are going to have to give our locks and dogs. We're just trying to get that shit set up real quick. Can't believe we both went the Dolphins.
As of right now.
That's still up for debate?
Yeah, as of right now.
Did you want to go first on the locks and dogs here? How are we feeling?
For sure. Why not?
Let me make sure. I'm making sure I'm getting all the picks that written down correctly. We both have the Bills, that's for sure.
Dang, how come I can't lock up my Falcons? That's lame. Oh, the Dolphins are the favorites too.
Yeah,
Mm. This might as well put five.
could change come game day. All right, I got all the picks in.
So yeah, definitely gonna lock up the Eagles. That's free money.
Okay.
And then, oh damn, I can lock up the Lions too. Let's see. Yeah, let me lock up the Eagles and let me lock up the Vikings. And for my dog, I'm gonna take the JX.
The Jags, a little
Mm.
pup dog. Oh, if I'm having to lock up some people here,
Lions are 6.5.
first off, I'm gonna go with my dog because I feel really good with my dog, and it's gonna be the Broncos. Broncos over Chargers. I can't believe the Broncos are a dog to begin with, and I can get my dog out of the way on Thursday night, whether or not that bitch is win or lose. Oh, tomorrow. Then we got my two locks. Damn, yeah, no, the Falcons 8.5 point favorite, kind of crazy. Who am I most confident on?
Red Lions 6.5. Like, free band.
Damn, there's just so many. There's some big spreads. I'm probably gonna go. Oh no, we never do good when we double dip. I'm gonna go Eagles. Fuck it, we're gonna double dip on the Eagles. That boy hating.
No, I'm just saying the Lions is right there. I was like, I didn't want to double. I didn't want to take both the good ones. Like you feel me? I was being, fair.
No, bro. I'm locking in the Ravens.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm locking in the Ravens. Fuck it. Steelers can't win both divisional matchups this year, even though they have before. But
Who the Vikings playing again?
the Vikings are playing the Seahawks.
Give me the Lions. I just think I want to take it. I'll take the Lions.
All right.
No, I'm lying. Let me keep it. See, let me keep
You sure?
Let me keep Vikings.
All right. So for the final locks, Kev going Vikings Eagles. I'm going Ravens Eagles. So circle the Eagles. You're both feeling good about that one. Then for our dogs, Kev takes the Jags, and I'm taking the Broncos. Both dogs that we both agreed on too. So that might be the first time we both have the same like agreement on the dogs we're picking. I feel like we're always one of us against one of our other picks.
Mm-hmm.
But we appreciate everybody for watching. Stay tuned. We got Usyk Fury coming out later this week. Big fights coming up. UFC, we're taking a little bit of a break, but we'll be back with more NFL next week. As always, go down, like, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all watching along. Thank you for commenting along. Drop a comment if you're watching this later on. I'm Paul Pick a Winner. Join with Kev, Water Voice to Void. If y'all didn't know, now y'all know, motherfuckers.
Yeah.